what'll before me. Jesus doeth all things well, for I know what'll before me. Jesus doeth all things well. All the way my Savior leads me, 'tis each winding path I tread, gives me grace for every trial, feeds me with the living bread. Though my weary steps may falter, and my soul athirst may be, gushing from the rock before me, lo, a spring of joy I see. Gushing from the rock before me, lo, a spring of joy I see. All the way my Savior leads me, all the fullness of His love, perfect rest to me is promised in my Father's house above. When I wake to life immortal, wing my flight to realms of day, this my song through endless ages. Jesus led me all the way. This my song through endless ages. Jesus led me all the way. Time for our speaker.
Okay, I hope everyone has had a wonderful afternoon. I enjoyed my lunch, and I am happy that we are back. To be honest, I rarely attend afternoon programs. So this time I've been forced to attend. We had a discussion about renewing our minds. We had a discussion about how we view things and how we view determines what we give meaning to them. This time around, I want to go further and have a discussion more in details about. Has anyone heard about a dream chart? Has anyone had a dream about something called a dream chart or a vision board? Either some people call it a vision board, others call it a dream chart. Yeah. Okay. So we are going to look into that. I have had very many people testify and do prayer requests. I was joking with my friend recently, and I said I was telling him that last year was my best year ever. That I think God gave me my blessings, then I think He got other people's blessings and added them to me. That is how exciting my 2023 was. I was able to move into my house. I was able to take my family to Mombasa for a holiday. Those who love traveling understand what I'm saying. I was able to gift my wife a car. Aren't those the goals you're looking for? I was able to buy myself a car. I had one, but I just simply had to upgrade. So, really, you can confirm that 2023 for me was excess. It was excess. And yes. Guys, it's just a matter of time. You know what is exciting about life is that uh, when you get there, it doesn't mean that there's no one who will say you were the first richest person or you're first successful. At the end of the day, when we all get there, we say we are all, whether it is after 10 years, whether after 5 years, we all say now you are all successful. We don't now look at who went there first. No. So it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. If you told me that those are things I could be able to do maybe 10 years ago, I would probably not believe you and say, really, is it possible? Because then I would look at the situation I'm in and wonder whether I would be capable to do that. I would look at the situation I'm in that time and weigh in. I'm like, no, it's not possible. I had a lady here talk about PIP. I know what it means, my profession. I did buy the ITAN computing as a degree, but I've never practiced. I'm now an end user like anyone else. I can also touch the laptop and touch it like someone who never did IT. Because ever since I left campus, I've never practiced. I have been in sales from the very time I left campus up to now. So what I did, I even came and did my MBA and in marketing because I now wanted to specialize and accept the fact that I moved on from IT and I'm now in a different field. So when she talks about PIP, I know what it means. It is, us salespeople who work on targets means when you're not performing to the expectations of your line manager, you're not, you're there. You're in doubt whether the job is still there. So I pray that she goes through it and gets those numbers going. It is unfortunate that I left my dream chat home. For the few times I've preached, I never do afternoons, but this time I was told by Melody that you'll have to do the afternoon. I said, oh, why I wish you told me in advance, and I could bring my dream chat. The year has just begun. How many of us did take time to set goals? Whether it is just one goal, at least when I say set goals, means you wrote it somewhere. Many of you keep telling us that I have them in my head. What are your goals? Do you have them written anywhere? No, I have them in my head. Your head has a lot of things. There's no way it can just keep a memory of those goals. You know why they ask you to write? Because when you write something down, it's like it's a way of memorizing. Like the way you revise and then you do short notes. Because you're trying to get your mind to memorize. Try to see if it can pick something that you've been reading. It's very important for us to write. I talked about that you can be able to achieve your dreams, your dream car, your what. You know what I set down goals and I achieved my dream wife. Yes. You know what I did? There's a book that I would recommend everyone to read, especially those that intend to marry. There's a book called Why Men Want Sex and Women Want Love. Yes, by Alan Pease. Why Men Want Sex and Women Want Love. I know this is not family life, so I won't explain the book and the title, how fun it is. But if you get to read that book, and you've been complaining that probably I'm with the wrong boyfriend and girlfriend, that book will guide you on how to get a better boyfriend. So it had guided me on what we call core values, qualities, differentiating what core values are and what qualities are, how qualities and core values are different. So I went down and wrote on a piece of paper that had a bit of a hard paper exactly the kind of lady I was looking for. And so this gave me guidance, especially on the core values. Because one of my core values was business-minded, God-fearing, tribe-mate. Those were my three. Now, core values, just to give you a simple summary of it. Core values are a must-have. Once you define your core values in what you're looking for in someone, they are must-have. It's not like there's an option. They are must-haves. Qualities can be probably you're looking at if there are if there are qualities, if we measure them at a percentage of 100 and you get 80, 60, you're good to go. But core values must have. So it meant that if I met a lady who is God-fearing, is business-minded, but is not my tribe mate, would I give her time? Would I? She has my two core values, but she has one that is missing. So what would that mean? I wouldn't even bother, because she must meet all my three. It's the qualities that I miss out some, but for the core values, they must be all. Yeah? Core values is what define who you are, or what you're looking out. Who is the person you're looking out for out there? Once you define them, I can tell you will avoid this one. I thought he's the right one. I thought she's the right one. All those. The other thing, once the person has the core values, has the qualities, probably some of the qualities you're looking for, and say yes. And then along the way you find, of course, like any other person, we have weaknesses, right? So now the question is, can I be happily married with this person with the way he or she is? That if the person is short-tempered, would I be happily married to her or him with that weakness? If the answer is yes, please proceed. If the answer is no, even if he has other core value and qualities, please stop and start afresh. Okay, that is away from. So I was saying, I wrote down exactly the kind of woman I wanted, got that piece of paper on a hard paper, put it in my wallet. Whenever I would open my wallet, I would look at it. Why is it important? Why did I need it in my wallet? Because I needed a chance to look at it as many times as possible. Even when I was not reading them as much as I would. But just that, the mind just always looking at them subconsciously was attracting me towards the kind of person I desired. And I can tell you I got the person. More than what I actually said. So, what I want us to do is to look at is goal setting. Like some of you said, you have set some goals for this year. Goals are categorized differently. We have short term. Short term could even be a week, could be a month, could be 3 months, could be a year. But maximum 2 years. Those are short term goals. And then we have mid-term. Mid-term could be probably 5 years. Those are mid-term goals. Yeah, things you feel realistically to you may not achieve it in a month's time, but I think you feel it is possible in 5 years. It is possible in 3 years. It is possible in 4 years. Those are what you're going to categorize as mid-term. Then we have long-term. Long-term could be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now. Yeah, a lifetime probably. Now, you must be able to categorize your goals in such a way that you're able to know which ones are my short term. Even if it is saying I want to buy myself a dress worth 100,000, and that is your short term, set it. Set it as a goal. It also remains a goal. It doesn't have to be complicated. If to you it is buying a smart TV of 42 inches, set it as a goal. It remains a goal. A goal gives you a sense of direction. Yeah, it allows you to focus in a certain direction because it is pointing you somewhere. Than when you don't have any goal. When you don't have any goal, it means anything that comes up becomes your goal. And that's how you find yourself not moving, because You are not giving your life direction. Instead, anything that comes up gives your life direction. Now, I had mentioned earlier in the morning that our mind thinks in form of pictures, right? So I would want you to take a task. Now, this is where I talk about a dream chart and a vision board. I want you to take a task and you can be able to get a manila paper. You can be able to get whatever is comfortable. Whether you just get one picture and you feel for you this is what would matter. All I want is that whatever goal you have, I would want you to get a picture that represents that goal. For example, if you're saying, I want a smart TV, I would want you to define what a smart TV is to you. Which brand are you looking at? How many inches? Do you want a touch screen? I want you to define exactly. Many of us say, I want money. You know that 1,000 is also money. Yeah, it's money. So you're giving God an ambiguous goal. You're not defining. And some of us, it's interesting that some of us pray to God and say, Lord, I need good grades. What is good grades to you? Define it. Because God doesn't know what you mean by good. You define it. What are good grades to you? What does it mean to say these are good grades? Define what good grades are exactly. As in, be very definite. If you say I want a car, which car are you trying to define? Yes, which class? That's what I want. Which class of Mercedes? Because there are many. So which one exactly do you want? Could you even take time and go to the internet and Google what exactly such a car is capable of? So that you're clear of exactly what you want. Now, I would want that when you know when you have defined exactly what kind of goal you want, get a picture of the equivalent. I remember on my dream chart, one of my goals was to wed in 2018. I wedded in 2016. Then, of course, there are goals and dreams that have slightly gone past. But you know what gives me comfort is, you see, if I set a goal to make 1,000,000 and I achieved 900, I think I will have made great improvement. Yeah? Yes, I may not have achieved the goal, but I've made great improvement. And guys, what is important is not the goal. What is important is the person you become in the process of achieving that goal. That is actually what is important. That's why we keep wondering why. I just read today morning. I just read on on NBS. They were saying someone, a 30-year-old, has won 399 million out of some betting. You know, I can tell you 5 years from now, you may ask that person where the 399 million is, and he will have no answer. Do you know why it happened? It still comes back, guys, to the mind. The mind was not prepared for the 399 million. So what happens is, the mind, you know what is funny? For those that are working currently, if you do take some memory, right from the time you finished campus, where you said, God, if I can only get a job of 500, and then God gives you an opportunity and you start earning 500. Now, at that time, before you got the job of 500, you thought 500 was a lot of money, right? And then you get 500,000, and then you realize, you start saying, God, I need a job of 1 million. Probably you get lucky and get a job of 1 million. And then when you get there, you feel it's not a lot of money. You want a job now that pays you more than that. You know why? Because as you get more money, the mind stretches you to think of things that you can use that money for. If you used to rent a house of 300,000, the mind allows you to go into a possibility of renting a house of 700,000. To go into a boutique where you would instead of where you are buying clothes of 30,000, now you want to move to places where you can buy clothes of 100,000. Guess what is happening? Your in this case, your life from the outside, as who are looking at you, we say you're doing very well. Yeah? Because from what we are seeing, you're now in a better house, you're now dressed better. We say things are getting better. But in reality, you may actually be doing worse than you were when you were earning 500. Why? Because all that we are seeing are just symbols of wealth, but not wealth. Just symbols. You just look like you're doing well. But in actual sense, when we look at your asset base and achievements in terms of finance, you equally could not be doing well actually. Why? Because what you're prioritizing is what? Is looking good, sleeping well, eating well, but in the real things that matter, which are investments and savings, may actually be at negative or zero. So it is very important, and now you see that's why the process that it takes to you to achieve that goal is what is important, because it is that discipline that allows you to grow, to become better. Ladies and gentlemen, if you cannot tithe 1,000 on 10,000, I can guarantee you, I won't bet because we won't allow it here, but I can tell you for a fact that you'll one day, God will give you an opportunity to earn 10 million and you won't tithe 1 million. You know why? Because it has not become a part of you. You will feel like 1 million could have paid rent, could have paid school fees for your sibling, could have done something else other than bring it to church as tithe. Why? Because you have not built your mind into becoming part of you, that tithing is what? Should be something part of you. That's why now that you have 1 million, and guys, just like I am standing here, I have been where you are, where you say, when I earn, this time I'll start tithing when I start earning 500. God, I'll give you 50,000. God blesses you with the 500. You start giving him stories. Lord, now you see my rent. I have transport. I have. As in, you start giving him excuses. God is very interesting. He listens to your excuses. You pray again. God, when I want a job of 1 million, I will do this. He fulfills. Again, you start giving stories. Can you imagine God is asking us for 10% of the 100% he has blessed us with? Only 10. He's saying, just give me 10%. And I'm leaving you with 90 to do whatever you want. And we still struggle giving him the 10. But what I'm driving at is the process you go through to achieve that goal. In that goal, in trying to fight towards achieving that goal, there's a transformation you go through as an individual. Now, that is what is more important. The reason why you will go you'll get a better job is because the person you have become out of your earlier job, out of your current job, has prepared you for the next opportunity. That when an employer invites for an interview, with the interaction he's having with you, he believes indeed you qualify for the job. But it is not because of what you're saying in the interview. No, it's because the current job has prepared you for your next opportunity. Because in doing that, it is shaping you into the person you're becoming that would be fit for the next opportunity. That's why I feel sad when someone complains that I have this job but they are paying me little money. Guys, when you're getting a job at the beginning, it's not about money. You should never focus on money as the reason why you should do that job. Your focus should be on the skills you acquiring through that opportunity, the experience that now will enable you negotiate better on the next opportunity. That should be your focus. The person you're becoming, the skills you're acquiring on that opportunity that could be paying you low is what you should be focusing on, not on the money. As long as that money at least can be able to help you survive, continue. It will help you gain the skills, the experience, and before you know it, when a better opportunity comes, you will be ready, you will be qualified for it, and you will be able to negotiate better. Yeah? You will be able to negotiate better. I'll tell you from experience, as a person who works with Airtel, which is where systems are a bit already in place, you may not learn as much as you can as compared to these medium companies, where you find you're an accountant, you're the admin, you're the messenger. Eh? Literally, they're asking you to do 3 jobs in one. And you're complaining, I was hired only to do procurement, but I am the person whom they send, whom they do this. Guys, just go through it. There are skills you're going to learn that you may never learn somewhere else. Because you see, for example, in our finance department, there are so many people that do different things. There's compliance, there are those who do fraud, there are those who do payments, there are those who manage. I mean, you have done your CPA and all that, but when you come in here, they specialize you onto a certain job because they have different people for different roles, even when it's all finance. But in a small, medium company, guess what? You'll be done filing returns. You'll be the same person who is paying salaries. You're the same person, as in there's a lot that you can pick out than when you move up. I'm not saying don't go to the big companies. What I'm saying is, from wherever you start from, utilize it, get as much experience as you can, and grow. Back to the story of the dream chart. I would want to give you a task to, like I said, break down your goals into short term, mid term, long term, and then get pictures that represent what you desire to achieve, what you've defined as your goals. Get pictures that represent. You may say, I want to become a millionaire in USD. Then get pictures, just a picture of US dollars, and let it be what represents your goal of $1 million. Like I said, the mind is not thinking about the word $1 million. It is imagining a certain picture of $1 million, and probably it is imagining the life you'd live with you earning $1 million. If it is good grades, define what good grades are. Probably get a picture of a graduate who maybe was announced as one of the best, and get that picture and just to represent what you're defining. Many of you could be struggling at campus because you've never understood how your CGPA is calculated. When they tell you this course unit has a credit unit of 5, you don't even know what that means. You go there, you get your 50, and say, it's okay, I have not gotten a retake. But you know what it means to get 50 in a course unit that has a credit unit of 5? You'll have actually performed poorly. If you have observed, you realize that actually it is easier to drop your CGPA than to take it up. Just one exam like this can drop your CGPA by maybe even 0 point something, but just raising it by 0.1 when you probably got 80, 70, 80 in all the papers. I can tell you I've been there. I didn't graduate with a good degree. I am not here to pretend. I got a second lower. I was very bright, but I did other things. I did other things and concentrated less. But at least I did graduate. I didn't allow it to make me completely lose focus. At least I graduated and was able to start off and get a job here and there and continue. You know, what I'm saying is once you're able to understand that this is what it takes me. I am not saying when I say you can be able to drive your dream car, be able to travel, be able to do this, things will just happen. No, you'll have to put in the work. You'll have to put in the work to be able to achieve those goals. You'll be able to put in the work to achieve those dreams. But at the same time, as you're doing all that work, the universe will be aligning to your mindset, will be aligning what you desire in life. I can tell you something that what actually has changed my life was through an opportunity that I got through a friend. So this friend of mine runs what we call a facility management company, where part of the services we provide is cleaning. So he has been running this company since 2013 in Kenya. So when he wanted to open a company in Uganda, and I had studied with him in A level, so we had kept in touch. So when he wanted to start a company in Uganda, regardless of the many friends he had in Uganda, he considered me to be one of the directors in the company, and that is how I got the opportunity to work with him and run the company with him. I completely ran the company here because he's based more in Kenya. But it was out of the fact that he has known me for long, from the integrity perspective, the fact that he knows me as an honest person, that was able to give me an opportunity, to run the business. And in that contributed a lot to my acceleration of my goals. Probably if I was moving at 50% speed, with that extra opportunity, probably it came to 80% acceleration. But you see, it didn't mean that I was there seated waiting and dreaming me achieving my goals. I was doing something about it, but as I was doing something about it, I was attracting opportunities that could lead me to my goals, that could lead me to my dreams. So as you keep working, someone is watching. As you keep doing what you're doing, someone out there is watching. He's watching, and probably he's saying, this is the person that I've been looking for. And guess what? This is the person that will give you an opportunity that could change your life. All it takes to change your life is a second, is a minute, is just a day. That day when you step in for a job interview and you walk out and they tell you you're a successful candidate, come and sign a contract. What did it take? Just that day. And that day was not a whole day. It would have even been an interview of 20 minutes. But it is the 20 minutes that have changed your life. So all it takes to change your life is not so many. It may require you to keep working, but the opportunity that could transform your life could be an opportunity that will only take 20 minutes. And your life will change. But in the background, you've been working towards getting better, that when the opportunity comes, you must be ready. And that's what I keep telling people. I have had a chance to invite some of you for interviews, not here specifically. And I realize that people might have the skills, but they just don't know how to present themselves. You have the experience someone is looking for, you have the degree someone is looking for. You just don't know how to present yourself. You just don't know how to write a CV and make sure that when the CV, recently we're recruiting in my department, and I got about 11 CVs. I didn't have time. You know what I did? You know what I did, honestly? I would look at the CV, read on the first page, and get like an impression, good or bad. Good, I, I, I put here. Read through, good, bad, bad, I put aside. Good, bad, I. Guys, employers don't have time. It's a fact. And I'm telling you the reality, guys. Employers don't have time. So it means your first page of your CV should tell me who you are, how good you are. Give me a summary of who you are. On that first page, I should be able to see that you have 5 years experience, you have a degree in business administration, you have maybe a certificate in this, and you've worked here and here. I mean, I should let me get the details after that. But can I have that summary that I just read and I'm impressed and I'm like, this is the person I'm looking for. Because many of us never get the opportunity to get interviewed because you have sent in a paper like this to speak about you, right? It's called a CV. And then it doesn't speak well. And when it doesn't speak well, do you think I'm interested in singing? No, I'm not interested in singing. You know? So some opportunities could be lost like, yes, maybe also invited and you don't perform. My question is, when you don't perform, between me and you, you know that sometimes you go for an interview and you say, now this question honestly, I didn't answer it well. I could have actually failed. Now the question is, when you realize that there are some questions really that you felt you didn't do well, you take time to actually ask someone. Say, by the way, or Google even, by the way. Can you imagine? It is interesting how you can Google and get an answer. Can you do you take time and get feedback and say, this one I didn't perform well. Is there someone I can ask? Or can I Google about this question? The next time you get an opportunity, guys, let that not be the question that is failing you again. It cannot happen. At least fail another one, but not that one. And you know that's the challenge. We keep repeating the same things, and we expect the results to change. Yeah? You're still writing the CV the same way, doing interviews with the same approach. Even when you fail certain questions, you don't bother to ask to find out what actually did not go well, so that you can become better. Next time, an opportunity comes to the one who is prepared. It comes to the one who is prepared. You must prepare. Yes, you may not have the opportunity now, but you must be ready for it. That when it knocks on your door, it should not leave. It should find you prepared, and that's why I'm advising you guys, whether you don't have a job right now, prepare yourself for that opportunity. Ask yourself, when I start earning this money, what will I be doing with it? How can I be able to manage my money? Then you start thinking of, what do I read? What do I read? Me personally, I have read quite a number of books. Like I've told you, there's every book about everything. I've told you one about relationships. I can tell you, you will testify to me if you get land on that book and tell me if it hasn't worked for you. It did work for me. When it comes to dealing with people, me being in sales, my best book I think that I've ever read when it comes to dealing with people is there's a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Anyone that has come across it? It's a red book. You can even find it around Radio 1, people selling it, and you might even not bother about it. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Very interesting book about how to deal with people, how to win them over, how to negotiate. Very interesting book. When it comes to the mind, very interesting. There's a video called The Secret. It's actually even a book called by Rhonda Bryan. She's actually a lady. Very interesting book. There's there's a video called The Opus. You'll watch it and be amazed on how the mind works and how it controls everything. When it comes to money, there's so much you can read. I have read quite a number of books by Robert Kiyosaki, Cash Flow Quadrant, Increasing Your Financial IQ by Robert Kiyosaki, quite a number, really. Quite a number. So I have whatever I've read has helped me make better decisions. Because I am getting someone's wisdom by reading his book or her book. That's what makes it interesting. I don't have to go through his real life or her real life experience for me to learn to get the experience. I simply have to read a book. 30 minutes. And I can tell you, you'll never be the same. I need you to be prepared for the opportunity. That when it comes, let it not find you not prepared. You should be prepared for it. That when the opportunity comes, you're ready to take it up. So, like I said, get the dreams. Get those pictures that represent. Many of you probably have rooms that are halls. Right? Have you seen that comedy of Uncle Mo? That if you're still in this kind of life, better work hard. Yes. So maybe many of us fall in that category. But I would want that even if you're so lazy and just do one picture of maybe one goal of everything, maybe you feel, let me just do one. I would want you to place it for the ladies. You never miss the mirror, right? Before you leave your house, you never miss the mirror. So get that picture and put it near the mirror. Because why? Because you want that every time you're able to have the opportunity to just look at it. Why? Because why I'm saying mirror is because at least you look at the mirror. And so automatically when you go near the mirror, you automatically look at that picture. If it is, in other words, look for a place where you feel your eyes land most. If it is near the door, as you get out, then put it at the door. The thing is, your mind should be able to look at that picture as many times as it can. Where you have defined exactly what you've put a time limit that I desire, I will have this car by, and they say you should actually write it in present tense, like it's already there. And then have a picture representing exactly that goal and place it somewhere. Personally, I came up with a dream chart. I did it in 2009. 2009. To have a dream house. Look at the dream house that I do. When I look at the dream house that I put on that dream chart and the one I have, they are slightly different, but at least I have the house. I remember my dream car by 2017 was a BMW X5. I didn't achieve that. I think then I was even not having a car. 2017 came and I didn't even have a car because I remember I bought my first car in 2019. In 2019. But last year I was able to buy a VW. So I could have passed, but at least I'm close to the goal. I just switched the type of car I wanted from a BMW to a VW. Just that, At the end of the day, at least something was driving me, and I was able to get there. Now, I remember one of my goals. That one, it is still really long term. I desire to donate 100 million every year to church. That is my dream. One of my dream goals. I believe I can achieve it. Actually, it's just a matter of time. I'll keep working hard until I get there. I believe I can very much. But what goals do and what these dreams do is that they point us into a direction that keeps us focused, and by working hard towards achieving them, it makes us a better person. And let me tell you guys, they can take away the money, they can take away everything that is physical, but as long as they don't take away the person, you can still achieve the goal. As long as they cannot, you are still alive. They can come and probably disorganize you, take the money, do what, take the job, but as long as the person, still remains, who achieved those same things that they have taken away, as long as that person still exists, I can tell you they will not have taken away anything, because the mind and the person you became in the process of achieving them still exists. Meaning that it's just a matter of restarting, and again you'll be what? You'll be there. That's why the person you become in the process is more important than the goal. The person you become is more important than the goal you achieve. Because the goal will be like feedback to you to say, hey, look, from the person you've become, guess what? This is what you're achieving. But the person you become is the most important in the process of achieving those goals. Is the person you become is the most important person. Because on that way you will be able, it doesn't take away the fact that you will meet challenges. No, no, no. Like I told you, yes, I did have my dream chart as old as as long as from 2009. But did it stop me from losing my job in 2017? No, it didn't. Did it stop what? I still lost my job. Did it mean that at that time, of course, definitely, honestly, I felt like, man, I am steps back again. You know? Because during that time, you're just there to survive. You cannot even think of doing any investment, anything. You're just there to ensure that I survive. But you might be asking the question, how did you survive for 1 year and 7 months without work? Yet you had rent to pay, you had food, you had all these bills. It's because of the decisions I made right from the beginning when I was working. Me when I was making my money, I didn't just do anyhow. I made some wise investments, and it was through those wise investments that during the time I didn't have a job, I was able to earn 700,000 every month without a job because of a certain investment I made that was paying me monthly. Now, had I not made that decision, I can tell you I would have been going back to Kasese at my parents' home with my family. You know, those things happen. And unfortunately, it can happen to you when you're 45. You lose your job. I have seen it happen. Someone way quite older, and you pack your things, and I can tell you, you first tell your wife, you know what, you first go back to your parents as I reorganize. Then for you also go to your parents. First reorganize. It happens, guys. It's reality. So it means when you have that opportunity, don't assume it's a lifetime opportunity. Utilize it to make better decisions. Better decisions that can. I want you to have a mindset of, can I survive without this opportunity, without this job, without this business? If I can't, I should be thinking of something that I can do over time that will give me an equivalent, at least an equivalent of my basic needs. If my basic expenses in a month are 1 million, I should be able to look out for an opportunity away from my job, away from the business that can guarantee me that 1 million. That even if I lose my job or my business struggles, I am guaranteed. At least I can afford rent, I can afford my basic needs. I may not be able to do much extra, but at least I should be able to survive until the next opportunity comes. And once you have such mindset, you cannot make the same decisions as one who thinks that this job will be there forever. You know? So my simple ask is, sit down, make your resolution. If you cannot make many, identify that one that when you think about that goal, when you think about that dream, you get goose pimples. That when you think about, I don't know what it is, we are different. What excites us is different. Someone else it could be that what excites them is traveling. When you mention travel, yeah, that person, you can tell her do this, and the person will do it. So someone else, it could be probably something else. It could be land. For them, another person, it could be car. It could be a car. I mean, what motivates us is different. So once you're able to identify that one thing that motivates you, and what is more important is the reason behind that. Why do you want to achieve that goal? Because you will meet challenges, but it is the reason behind that will keep pushing you to say, you know what, I have to fight one more day. I have to fight one more day, one more hour, one more week. Because there's that thing that is pushing you, that is saying, you know what, you cannot. My motivation sometimes have come through negative, should I say, challenges or negative feedback, where probably someone says, looks at me, and doesn't feel like I fit in their group. Probably for them, they define their group as maybe well-to-do and what. To me, that's where sometimes my motivation comes from. Like, you know what, I have to prove them wrong, that I am actually even much better. For me, so sometimes your motivation may not be from something positive. It would actually come from something negative that you've experienced in life, and you say, you know what, not again. I have to be better. So we can drive motivation from different things, but you must have a reason behind your goal that is pushing you to become better. Whether you say, for me, my reason for buying a TV is that I want to be the first in my family to buy a TV, go for it. It doesn't have to be, they don't have to be unique and so sophisticated. So sophisticated. Because once you start achieving these small goals and believing that actually with what you're doing and with how you're training your mind to attract these things, you start actually realizing that I can actually go for bigger things. Right now, my biggest challenge with you that you have doubt. I am here talking, but you say, hey, this guy, does he really think these things work? You're there like a doubting Thomas. No, these things really work. Are they possible? I have no control about that. But I can tell you, they are possible. They are possible. I just want you to give yourself a chance to try. Because you see, at the end of the day, success has to be worked for. But failure is automatic. The moment you don't work for success, automatically, do you have to do anything to be a failure, really? Do you have to do any hard work to become a failure? No, it's automatic. It's automatic. You don't get a reward for success, it's automatic. You're on this other side. So you're better off actually working hard for the other one, because it is automatic that this one will fall in once you don't strive for the other. Others, guys, thank you very much. I pray that we can be able to put this into action, because at the end of the day, what matters is putting everything in action. Not everything, you may not pick everything. Pick out something that you feel you would want to try out. Try it out there and see what happens. You lose nothing, really. Thank you, and have a nice evening. I am yet to know what goes on after, since I'm never an evening person. Questions? Okay, yeah, feel free to ask. The next time you may see me in Chambogo, some of you rarely come. Even answers are accepted. No question? Yeah? Yes, also ask. Reality kicks in. I have been laughing because sometimes I become a victim, yeah, of where you're excited about something, you've had something nice, and you're like, yes. Then by now, what's funny? Even actually, what you've said is could even belong. Even tomorrow morning is good enough for you to wake up and you've forgotten everything, and you're back to your normal settings. Where are you today? You were fired up. You slept. You went for still home saying, "Man, this is my best year ever." Then tomorrow morning you wake up and then you remember you don't have breakfast, and you're like, "Man, I mean the whole thing just ceases to exist." The whole sermon that you thought was exciting. Have you been to sermons where you say where they say they ask you how was it? And say, man, it was exciting. Then someone asks you, what exactly was exciting? And you say, man, it was just exciting. You cannot really, you just remember the excitement. You really remember feeling good, but you cannot remember exactly what you could have picked out. So uh, now you see, the consistency that you are talking about will be driven by the reason why. Why are you doing what you've decided to do? Yeah? Is it because Kithula came and spoke nicely and felt encouraged? Or is it that you went and sat down and said, I desire to achieve this because of this and this and this? The reason why must, the driving force behind must be. You should imagine, I want to ask you, if a lion was chasing you, huh? If a lion was chasing you, would you think about whether I should run? I mean, would you get time to think? You would run, right? I want you to create a lion behind you that would make you run, make you run because that lion will be the reason why you will not give up. And secondly, start with something manageable. Hmm? Consistency may not be built once. Or if you're not used to something, for example, you say you're not used to reading. I can tell you if you got a book of 300 pages and not a reading, I can guarantee you, you won't read that because you look at this volume and say, man, this is too big, and give up. But if you start with a book of maybe 50 pages, small pages, it will be easier for you to catch up because then the discipline will, you'll start small because the book is small. It will be easier for you to finish. So you start with that kind of discipline. Before you know it, as you find value in books, then you will find no problem reading even a bigger volume because you know what you're getting. So you can start with some certain small things, you know, that where they can help you build that discipline, that discipline. And then also probably you can. Most of us are usually on social media. Guys. Me, I'm also on Twitter, but I know pages to follow that are educative for me. I also follow some funny ones that sometimes I look at and I just want to laugh. I want to just have laughing. I'm stressed. I just want to laugh. So I have also those, but I'm also wise in making my decisions. I know which person to follow that I believe will add value to me. I can choose. I might have my data and I go on YouTube and search for something. In other words, I am having the same resources as you, but I'm choosing to use them differently. I have the same access to Facebook maybe as you, to Twitter as you, to YouTube as you, to WhatsApp as you, but I'm choosing that if I can pick certain things that can add value to me every day, that I can look through, watch, and add something to me, it will be interesting. For us, for those who have kids, for a long time I've always given my phone to my kids and watch Coco what and what. But I realized that actually on the same YouTube, there are Bible stories in kind of animation, in that in a language that would understand. The story of Esther, the story well narrated. And guess what? These days, what I do, I give them my phone, then I put for them the story. And what is interesting is over time they will come and explain to you exactly how the story is. You get? So it is just how we choose to use the resources we have. Over time I was using my phone. They would ask for my phone, and they do their Comelo and whatever, you know. But now I choose to decide to give them. Yes, sometimes I might give them Comelo, but then I might also give them. I might first ask them to watch a Bible story, then maybe they go to the other thing. You know that I am trying to use the resources available to build them into something better. So it is just those choices, simple choices. And guys, I can tell you, those choices 5 years from now will make the difference between you and this other person, you and the other person. The choices that we make now is what will define who we are 5 years later. The choices we have made in the past is what is making us be where we are right now. Any other? Yes. The authors of the book. Okay. The other one I talked about in gut relationships, there is why men want sex and women want love. I won't explain. That is a day for no, that would be a day for family life by Alan Pease. Pease is Pease. That is the Pease I'm referring to. When I talked about things to do with relationships, managing people, dealing with people, winning people over to you, there's a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Carnegie is, yes, Dale, D-A-L, C-A-N-E-G-I-E. Uh, there's, when it comes to financial, there's a book called Increasing Your Financial IQ by Robert Kiyosaki. When it comes to understanding how the mind works, there's a book, it's actually even also a video. You can go on Google and search The Secret by Rhonda Bryan is RHONDA BRYNE. The Secret by that. There's another one. That one is a video just called The Opus. You just Google and say The Opus. The video. You'll also be amazed on what they talk about. What else? What else? Any other that I've forgotten? There are so many. There's a book called The Power of Positive Thinking. Yeah, Increasing Your Financial IQ by Robert Kiyosaki. That's what I was referring to. There are so many things, guys, that you can pick. Currently, I'm following a gentleman called Kakande Alex on Twitter. He talks about paper assets. I won't explain what paper assets is now. That's another topic. But paper assets, just like you have real estate, there's also another category of assets called paper assets. The likes of treasury bills, treasury bonds, unit trusts, all those fall in the category of paper assets. But that will be a topic for another discussion. So there's so much you just have to choose deliberately on what you want to pick from somewhere. There's a lot you can learn from different sources, and you will be amazed. Okay, so I think we are done, and Luswata told me this afternoon that he had set a goal for being more positive. I want you guys to be observant. You know, you guys, you have to have accountability partners. So that someone can say, you're going to be positive. Here you're being negative. So that he remembers, oh, I'm being negative. Okay. So that's what I told me that. So I'm giving you the responsibility for him to be accountable for you guys to be accountable to him whenever you realize he's being negative. Whether it's in our church board meeting and you say, man, yes, okay, say it, but say it in a more positive way. Okay, thank you very much, and may God bless you.
A round of applause for our preacher. Thank you so much, Mr. Geoffrey, for such a wonderful presentation that you've given to us. Indeed, men's Sabbath has not been, let me say, there's no Sabbath that is being wasted, but I think we have achieved more from this Sabbath than any other Sabbath that maybe will come in future that we feel that won't have gotten from it. I believe we as members of the Musda Church, we have not stayed the same. And I think if I know these friends very well, they are going to start right away. They are going to change. The consistency bit might maybe be a problem for us, but the consistency bit is not going to be a problem for us. We are going to be very consistent in what we are going to be doing. I would like to invite Brother Jacob, since it is John Clan serving today, to give us a closing prayer as we depart for our places of rest. Enjoy the rest of your evening.